Okay, sooner or later we all end up in a fender bender, unfortunately.
And there never are faults,
of course
right? That never happens. Eventually we'll all be there, right? So if you need to get your car fixed, how do you find the right auto body shop?
Bob McSherry from North Haven Auto Body Shop is here with some tips for us. Welcome, Bob. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
Do you suggest, if we need it, if we get in that situation, to not or to yes, go to the Yellow Pages as the first thing?
It's a good directory. It's a good place to start. If you're not familiar with the process, it's a place to definitely start from. In this day and age, everybody's really heading towards the web.
Right.
I mean, the web's where it's at. I mean, the phone book is definitely sliding off the face of the earth a little bit as far as an everyday mean. But it's a good place to start.
I know particularly with auto body shops, word of mouth has got to be a big part of what drives people to go to see you, right?
It's huge. I mean, if you fix 10 cars and only fix 5 of them right, it's going to wipe out the other 5 all day long. It's very important. Repeat business is where it's at. You try to really strive to get everybody that came in to come back. Not that they want to come back, but you want to try and get them back.
And it might be a little challenging, too, because it says North Haven Auto Body, but of course you serve all over the place.
Correct. We pull from pretty much everywhere where they happen. So
how do you get out there to have those folks hear who you are?
Different ways as far as advertising. Like I mentioned, the web before, it's big. Radio, TV,
sure.
And word of mouth is huge.
Yeah. For that, you got to have good employees. What do you look for?
Time, being on time. Caring about what you do. Appearance is huge. If you don't take pride in your personal appearance during the day, you're not really going to take pride in what you do during the day.
It's what the customer sees when they pull up, right?
We're front line, so if we're not presentable, you're not going to want to deal with us.
And also your shop, too. I mean, you need to keep it spick and span, even though you guys are doing some dirty work.
Yeah, we spend more time in the shop than we do at home, so we want to be in a comfortable, clean environment.
Yeah.
Right.
We are getting into accident season. This is the time of year where weather plays a role and people are involved in those fender benders. What are the kind of things that you tend to see a lot of that need to be fixed?
We tend to see a lot of all-wheel drive vehicles that give people a false sense of security to where when it's snowing or there's ice on the road, four-wheel drive doesn't mean four-wheel stop. On ice, nothing stops. So it's one of those things that people get a little brazen with their vehicle to do what it can't.
You know, talk a lot about the fact that when women will come in, you know, that sometimes they say that people like places like take advantage of women because women don't know as much about cars. I certainly don't. But I'm sure that everyone should really trust you guys because you know what you're talking about.
Trust is earned.
Yeah.
And you know, your first impression's a lasting one. The appearance means a lot, but the people inside the place is what makes it happen. I'm very fortunate. I have a very good front office staff and also a very good rear staff that makes it a lot easier for those coming in. I mean, again, they don't want to see us. They're going to have to deal with us, so we try to make it pleasant.
And as you mentioned, it's the word of mouth that really kind of goes along with that. If somebody said, look, I trust this guy, these guys did a good job and they didn't rip me off, that's an important part too. I wanted to ask you, because a lot of times insurance companies will kind of dictate where you can go or where you should go. How do you work with insurance companies?
Insurance companies aren't supposed to dictate where you take your car. They can recommend, if you don't have a repairer in mind, they can recommend it. There are benefits to it. I do some of the direct referral work that they call, but I do it with certain carriers that are, you know, beneficial to the policyholder and all involved. You have to be real careful as far as it's your car, it's your choice, you take it where you're comfortable.
Yeah.
We've been talking about what happens after the accident, but you have some tips for us to not get in the accident. What's your first tip as we head into this colder weather?
As we head into the colder weather, the biggest thing is to watch out for the overpasses. They're the first one to freeze. 34 degrees, they're already ice. A couple weeks ago we had that Monday morning where it was the first cold one, and we were busy that day.
Surprise.
Surprise. I mean,
you hit the bridge and you don't know.
Yeah, well, that was just it. And the standard line was it was over before I knew it started.
Along those lines, and this is something that so many of us have been guilty of, we see it all the time, tailgating gets a lot harder to stop when you're in this kind of weather.
Biggest thing is keeping distance. They teach you it in driving school, and we're all guilty of it. I mean, we all need to be the first one to the stop sign or the closest to the car in front of us, and it's a bad habit.
Yeah.
So
you also suggest stopping at yellow lights. Why is that? Isn't that a little rush for people behind you?
As far as slowing down, stopping's really not a good idea because you could actually get some interesting comments from those behind you.
Right.
It doesn't mean speed up. As you drive through the city, everybody's usually, the minute the light goes yellow, they're nailing it.
Yeah.
And those who wait for the light to turn green are jumping on it too, so it's tough.
Along those lines, got to know your brakes, got to know how quickly your car will stop or how slowly.
Exactly. I mean, if your car has anti-lock brakes, how they work, how they feel. When you step on the brake pedal real hard, they pulsate, they make a lot of noise. Don't let off when they're doing what they're supposed to.
Yeah.
But if it's an older car, you need to do the pumping for it.
Excellent. All right, great tips. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hopefully we won't need you, but if we need you, we know where to find
Good
you.
to have a guy, right?
North Haven Auto Body. For more information, you can contact North Haven Auto Body for yourself. Just come to the website. We've got all the information there.
All right.